Live stream. Netflix earnings are up
quite a bit, and they argue that if they do miss on subs with this kind of content slate that they've had, maybe they shift the conversation to, as you point out, pricing
Netflix and chill
over sub growth, and that would be a different way of thinking about the company.
Welcome to the live.
Yeah, look,
Bitcoin at 43,000, guys. Let's go. Good morning.
Don't Look Up, those are both really star-studded movie star, theatrical type movies. So the question is, did that get people to sign on? And new content is always a driver.
Man, Netflix is up.
So we're gonna have
I bought the dip, guys.
Big titles really.
I bought the dip.
Additions and minimize churn, and then looking ahead, there is a really big content slate in 2022.
Here we go. Non-fungible cats in the house.
Maybe they're taking a look at all the subscriptions they're paying for and want to narrow it.
Thank you for the likes, guys, and thank you for the follows.
As well, just looking more broadly, John, at the whole streaming landscape.
Yeah, it's an important.
Coinbase 229. Let's go. I bought the Coinbase dip. Coinbase is one of my favorite stocks.
Former head of content acquisition at Hulu, the founder of mobile gaming company Popin, Alex Kruglo.
Thank you for the likes, guys. Appreciate it.
Back up. We just talked about the quarter itself.
Here we go. Let's get to 100 people in this live stream. We got 34.
It feels to me like we might have reached peak video.
Hey, watch out.
Moving more into a gaming interactive investment.
All right, here we go.
Meta is talking more about the metaverse than Facebook is leading into games somewhat. Microsoft wants to.
What's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Cool. Yeah, I got the other
Yeah, so I
thing.
was
I got
listening
it
to
on
the-
closed caption.
Oh, nice. Okay, yeah, I was listening to it. It wasn't really interesting. This isn't the news. This is like the financial news. And if you can see, we got stock prices and they show crypto prices. So this is the news for making money.
Nice.
Yeah. So, by the way, I was a holder of Activision. I'm slowly just selling out of Activision because I don't think
Oh, the
it will hit
announcement?
that. Yeah, just because I think it's all hype,
You
and then
still
also,
play tennis.
I'm just selling Activision to buy Microsoft. I think that over time, the Microsoft stock will actually go up more than the Activision once
I think that's probably
and
a
then-
smart play. Yeah.
Yeah, and if the deal
Um,
falls through, the price will tank again, I believe. But I'm not going to completely sell out of my Activision. I'm just going to sell half of it and then use that to just buy Microsoft.
You still go to play tennis.
Yeah.
What time?
Oh, I got to go in about 15 minutes. I said 9:30.
Should I change?
Are you going to come? Yeah, go get ready. Go. Hurry up. Yeah, I'm going to go play tennis at 9:15. So I got about, what is that?
nice.
20 minutes, 25 minutes to live stream. But yeah, that crypto convention or the thing, I don't know. I was listening to the politicians talk and stuff. I don't know. I find this more interesting. But was there anything significant that you picked up?
It really just started.
Okay. Ethereum back over 3,000, 3,200. That's good to know. DraftKings finally
Go
coming
below
back.
3,000.
I think it barely touched 3,000. So
Yeah, there was. I mean,
that's a good
it
support
definitely
level.
touched it like pretty close. It got to like maybe 3,000 and like $37 or something, like super close.
Yeah, and then Tesla's now above 1,000 too. I think Tesla went below 1,000 for a little bit, and now it's back up.
Gee, I didn't even know it got to 1,000. I was thinking it was still like in the 700s.
No, man, it barely touched like 980. I mean, I don't have the chart in front of me, but Tesla under 1,000 was very not that long. It's been usually above like 1,000 is the support level for Tesla.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm buying the Netflix. I'm hoping this is the done for the downturn of Netflix. I'm really bullish on Netflix. I think they're
What's
kind
it
of
at
like
right now?
It's at 522, but it almost
Damn,
touched
that's high.
700. It almost touched 700, and I can see it being $1,000 stock in a couple of years. Because who's the real competition to Netflix? I mean, maybe Disney, but
Disney,
they have a lot of
Amazon,
content.
Disney and Amazon, and who owns HBO Max against Sony?
I don't know, but you're
Yeah,
right.
a lot,
HBO, but
but that's the thing. Like a lot of them, they're not competing that well, and it seems like Netflix apparently has like a lot of a lot of money to like be like we're making our own shows and we're like licensing all these old movies and shows because like from my understanding, like they're not afraid to like pay a whole butt ton of money for like the old TV shows and movies. But that
exactly. And
how
anime.
sustainable is that going to be in the long run, though?
Well, here's Disney. That's their competitor. But I mean, once again, that when it comes to subscribers, Netflix, because they're the first mover, they just have a larger subscription base, and maybe
But I
Disney
do
will
feel
catch
they've done a
them.
good job with their originals. Like I
Of
think
course,
over the years, their originals have gotten good enough that if they start tapering off and stop doing a lot of the licensing stuff, people will stick around just because of the quality of their originals.
exactly. I agree, 100%. So, do you think any like cryptos will be related to this? I mean, is there any crypto like
Theta.
Theta? So, what is Theta? How does that like? Is that like how you can like tip people or something, or
No,
what does Theta do?
it'll have stuff like that, I believe, but it's basically just decentralized streaming.
Ooh, okay. And so that could be, I mean, I see the world moving towards decentralization, but I just think we need another like 5, 10 years and a lot more of these
Yeah.
like, hacks and like scams to like work their way through until we get like legit decentralized projects.
I mean, we're slowly moving there, man. It's like if you think about even just like the gig economy and Uber and Postmates and all of that stuff, they're
But
just
it's
like
not
this one
decentralized.
middleman that got rid of. Well,
Yeah,
what I'm saying is they're a smaller middleman that got rid of a larger middleman,
exactly. Bingo. Yeah. No, I agree on that. That's 100%
and
true.
then we'll eventually get rid of them.
Yeah. But then the software will take a cut or something, right? Because I feel
Well,
like
the
blockchain
protocol,
is like
that's the whole thing about like these DAOs and governance tokens. The protocol takes a cut, and you as a governance or DAO token holder get a cut of that.
nice. Okay. I'm gonna set up. I'm gonna go live on YouTube as well too.
Like the big one that I like to think about is I just don't know how far away we are from it. Is like, one day when we all are only driving for pleasure, and when we drive to get around, we're in autonomous vehicles. Those autonomous vehicles are going to be like a waste if they're just sitting in our driveways or our garage where we're not using them. Nah, man, they're going to be like doing a decentralized Amazon delivery service, man.
Yeah, but how many years in the future are we talking about that? I think
Yeah,
that's
I don't
like
know.
50
I don't
years.
know. It might be even nah, man. Like when you go in deep into the weeds about like autonomous vehicles, like Elon talks about this stuff happening like in 15 years is like a long time for him.
Well, we're still working on. It's not true self-driving yet. How long do you think until we have self-driving cars?
20 plus years.
That
What about you, Party
long? I was
Finance? How do you
hoping
feel
10
about
years. I was hoping
how
in
does Party
2030.
Finance feel about autonomous vehicles?
I mean, I wouldn't mind them, but like I like Teslas, but the thing is like the gas or like gas stations. Gas stations are everywhere versus like electric stations really aren't everywhere right now.
Come to California, man. Get out of your Texas
They're all
bubble.
over California, yeah.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Well, I'm looking at the Cybertruck, so whenever that gets released, I might buy one of those.
Hopefully it doesn't like blow up or whatever.
You still gonna make that road trip, man? I'm gonna keep bothering you. You said in
Yeah,
February
man, you gotta
now.
make that road trip. Come out.
Come in November.
I'll do all right, February for sure. I just gotta pick a date.
Yeah, come out.
You gotta make some stops too, right? You got to make like a social media about this because you can visit a bunch of cool national parks. if I were you. I
Or
might
just
even
places
consider
to
if you
eat
want
and stuff, man.
if the dictator will allow it, I would actually want to fly to Houston and then I'll just ride with you all the way back to California. I could book a one-way ticket. Can your trailer fit 2 people, or you think it'd be uncomfortable? It would be better to just you go solo.
You could fit 2. You could like technically like sleep 4 people like comfortably.
Okay, so maybe the dictator will want to come too then, if you don't mind a couple. But if not, we can make it a guy's trip. I think it'll be more fun if it's a guy's trip.
Yeah, I'm down.
Okay, cool. Yeah, figure this out, and then I'll actually fly out, and maybe we'll make a bunch of like social media stuff where, we do the road trip. And what we'll do is we'll use the LoopNet app, and we'll stop at mobile home parks around the country. We'll look at mobile home parks for sale.
For sure. That'll be pretty funny too.
Yeah. It would be some fun content to create for sure. So we finally got a bounce. Do you think that the pain is over, or do you think we got more bleeding to go?
For stocks or crypto?
Well, both. They kind of moved together, right?
They were both doing kind of like crappy for like, short run metrics or whatever. Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Leonidas? We got Leonidas in the house too.
Yeah, I like it. I'm like long on a bunch of equities and cryptos, so I like it right now.
So you put the bear suit in the closet for now.
Well, I still have it on, but like I'm playing a pop.
I just need JP not to raise rates. I mean, that's all he has to do. And then we're going to get like a huge like bull run, just kick the can, like make the Republicans deal with like the inflation. And I don't think inflation will be as bad. They don't need to necessarily raise rates because I think it's more of a supply chain thing. And like if they actually spend money, like it's kind of ridiculous that we only have one port in LA for like all the stuff we get in China. Like we should invest. So like Seattle should.
Well, I mean, is that true though? Like, are you counting Long Beach as the only port, or like, what are you calling the only port?
Basically, that's it. And what we could
there isn't one in San Pedro? I thought there was one in San Pedro.
Okay, but I mean, just they're all backed up. They're all like really backed up, and like we could easily, add Seattle as another port. Or the other thing we could do is, use Mexico because in Ensenada, that's also like a shipping port. And so, yeah, and the labor is much cheaper there. So it would actually like lower the shipping costs if it comes through Mexico.
Huh, yeah, maybe.
The politicians just want kickbacks. It's literally going to just depend on which company gives them kickbacks so they can get reelected. That's basically what it's determined on. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it looks like Bitcoin, Bitcoin at 40,000 and Ethereum at 3,000. That's like solid support, right? I mean, it breaks, but it doesn't stay that long. I don't know if you have the charts in front of you, Finance.
Yeah. No, I'm at home. But yeah, so far those look pretty good, like 3,000 for Ethereum. I like Etsy for some stock positions right now.
Yeah, Etsy's a great business, and especially as people decide they don't want to deal with just Amazon, because like Amazon's kind of a monopoly, and I think Etsy's kind of like the more small creators and manufacturers. So I think that's gonna pick up where people decide not to order on Amazon and decide to help the competitors. So yeah, I like Etsy the stock, but
yeah,
Coinbase is cheap. I like Coinbase, man, under 230. I think that's like one of the best crypto like asset stocks to own, Coinbase. But they didn't do their NFT stuff, right? Weren't they promising us? And like they got a competitor to MetaMask, right? There's the Coinbase wallet, so you don't have to use crappy MetaMask, which is great. But why haven't they set up their NFT marketplace? I feel like that's huge.
I think they're just being slow, but they should pretty soon.
Who are you talking about, Coinbase or who?
Yeah, Coinbase. They're supposed to make their own NFT market.
They've been talking about it for a while. I don't know if they already did or not.
Yeah. What's up, Ted? Wow,
like,
Ted now
yeah, I mean, honestly, like, I really should like keep up with that stuff from more even just a consumer standpoint. I guess I don't want to because like I'm not going to use that. I'm not. Even if they're like, oh, it's you can buy it with fiat. I'm like, I don't care. I'm already deep enough into this ecosystem that doesn't really mean anything to me. But I need to really look at it, like I said, from the perspective of the average consumer, in that, yeah, being able to buy on a Coinbase exchange with fiat would be attractive to them and would definitely attract more people.
Newbies, yeah, for newbies. So what exchange are you using right now to buy your NFTs? Are you using OpenSea's non-fungible, or
Yeah,
what are you?
yeah, I'm using OpenSea.
Okay. Yeah, once again, like the OG hardcore crypto people that are the first movers, they may not want to use Coinbase, but Coinbase is to bring, like, the average American, the average consumer, it's supposed to make it easier for the
Yeah, you're
average.
right.
So, I mean, as anyone who invests in crypto, you want Coinbase to do well because, they're kind of like, how do I explain this? But they're kind of like the AOL or like the gateway, and then, obviously you can move into better services once you figure out that you don't like Coinbase. Wow, 3 million person wait list for their NFT marketplace. So, yeah, and OpenSea only has 1 million users. So you're right. Like, if you really, as a creator of NFTs, if you're an NFT creator, I mean, you want this to happen. It's going to bring so much more liquidity and
Yeah,
buyers.
I'll agree 100% there on that one. If you are a creator, yeah, you definitely want to hop on like these new marketplaces whenever they come out. But a lot of them, like, they don't really just let anybody on there because they want to protect like the reputation of their marketplace. So even if my recommendation for anybody wanting to get into NFTs as a creator, whether they had prior experience as an artist or not, is just start posting stuff on the internet. Start creating stuff, even if you don't mint it as an NFT right away. Like
Yeah.
Beeple, he's like, he did this like post every day challenge. He's been posting something like a piece of art every day for like the past 14 years or something crazy like that. So, you got to start somewhere, and eventually, like, you'll have a decent little portfolio. And when you go to apply to launch on one of these brand new NFT platforms, you'll be a lot more likely to be selected, and that's going to be huge.
Yeah. So, do you think Gemini will wake up? Because, like, I feel like the competitors too should offer something. Like, why isn't Gemini doing?
They have
anything?
Nifty. They invest
Oh, they do?
Yeah, they already have their platform.
Gemini has their stuff together in like a lot of ways, man. Like if they end up going public, which they probably will.
Oh yeah,
yeah, they got
They
their
actually
stuff
pay
together.
rewards. Like, I don't understand why Coinbase doesn't pay rewards, or at least do a little bit less than what's it called, than Gemini. Because that's the one thing for a newbie. I try to tell them, like, Coinbase is kind of. I mean, if you're buying less than $1,000 of crypto, the interest is kind of irrelevant. It's too little. And actually, Coinbase Pro is a better lower fees. But if you're investing more than like $1,000 or $10,000, it makes no sense to use Coinbase unless you know how to move your assets to, a Celsius or something like that.
And from my understanding, yeah, a big core strength of Gemini is they've really like made a lot better relationships with like the enterprise type clients. Like, so like if any like 401k or like whatever plan wants to like eventually buy crypto, they're probably going to go to Gemini.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. And once again, if it does go public, I mean, I want to own, and I don't know if you saw, what's his name? Like Kevin O'Leary, who was like, oh, crypto's a scam. He's almost now 20% of his net worth is crypto. And supposedly Mark Cuban is going 80% into crypto. And the one thing they're both investing heavily in is exchanges. I mean, they know the money. That's like where a lot of the money is to be made.
That's interesting.
So isn't it interesting?
That's where all of them.
Yeah, the two like most famous people on Shark Tank, who were that he went public saying, "Hey, about 80% of my new investments are crypto," and then Kevin O'Leary saying, out of his net worth, which is billions and billions of dollars, he's pretty close now. I think he said he was like 16 or 17% crypto, and he's going to move to 20%. These are billionaires, famous billionaires.
Yeah. The thing about Mark Cuban though is I'd be concerned about him being like a bag pumper. So
Yeah,
like
and
if
didn't
he, but
he
hopefully,
got in on
hopefully,
Pump and Dump,
hopefully
right?
he'll be ethical. Yeah, hopefully he'll be ethical and won't be like, an Ethereum Max type guy. Um, and
He'll get
like if he
sued.
does bring up projects, it's going to be like, this is the ideal scenario I'd like to have. I'd like him to bring up like very obvious things to where people like us will laugh and we'll be like, hey, thanks for pumping our bags of stuff that we bought a year ago.
We'll see. But once again, this is just showing you that crypto is moving mainstream, and like a lot of people, because I forgot the stat, but I think it's only like 8 to 12% of Americans own crypto. I think now with like these mainstream guys like vouching for crypto, it's going, once again, like it's just going to bring more money, more liquidity, and more users, especially when you have these mainstream guys, pumping it and investing in crypto.
Yep.
So, and you're right. I feel like, people like us are going to be obviously the first movers, but I support these guys because they're obviously helping our bags, inflate our bags with some money and new investors.
I mean, I'm serious. That's kind of like the ideal scenario I can hope for.
Bingo. Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah, like if Mark Cuban's like, oh yeah, Ethereum is the greatest thing on earth, they'll be like, yeah, it is.
well, the one thing I like more than Ethereum is NVIDIA stock. I still think out of all the cryptos, the safest bet is NVIDIA, just because of the fact that no other chip manufacturer can do what NVIDIA is doing. And so it's just one of the few companies where I feel like no matter what happens in crypto, they're just going to print money. But I'm not that sure about Disney. I think it's going to happen. I think just, the leadership at Disney, it's like they haven't caught on yet. But yeah, when it comes to like digital assets, I mean, Disney should kill it, but it could be mismanaged. I mean, I don't know how crypto friendly Disney's management team is. Is there any other crypto stocks? We talked about Coinbase. We talked about, so what about MicroStrategy? Do any of you guys own some MicroStrategy or Hut Mining? There's mining companies too. There's a couple of miners.
I'm looking at Riot. I used to own some. I'm looking to get back in. I like Riot a lot.
And then there's CleanSpark, right? They're trying to do like this renewable energy, but that might just be all hype. I don't know if you guys have heard of CleanSpark, but yeah, Riot's another one too. Mara is another one. Yeah.
I like Disney. I'm long Disney. Nvidia is good. I just haven't bought any Nvidia at the moment.
And so people are like, they're thinking of like, for my retirement account, like, shouldn't I just, go open up like a crypto wallet? But I was like telling most people, when it comes to your IRA, just, buy the stocks. It's so much easier and there's less fees because I believe you have to pay higher monthly fees to manage like actual crypto in your IRA. So,
yeah, the crypto IRAs have insanely ridiculous, awful fees. If you're going to do, there's what's called a self-directed IRA or a checkbook IRA. That'll let you like just buy off of Gemini and move it to like a MetaMask or like, or a Ledger Nano. But like, I hear the rules around those, they might get kind of strict about it. Like they may want you to put it in a Ledger Nano, but then put that Ledger Nano in a safety deposit box at the bank or something. It kind of like if you do the checkbook IRA, you can't hold like gold in your house. You can own physical gold, but it has to be, like I said, in like a safety deposit box or something. So that's an interesting one.
I think it's just way easier to buy some MicroStrategy, some Riot blockchain, some CleanSpark and call it a day.
Kind of get the exposure to crypto indirectly, right? I wanted to talk about Disney real quick here in the metaverse. Like, I absolutely agree, like Disney in the metaverse. A few years ago, they had this thing called Disney Infinity. Well, Disney Infinity goes back to like the Wii days, I think. But it was basically a metaverse with like all these Disney characters. It didn't succeed. The product was kind of ahead of its time. But if they bring something like that similar to that and kind of add like the VR capabilities, that's kind of where I'm like, I'm not extremely like sold on these metaverse NFTs or tokens? Because I feel like, what is it? You look at this video that Snoop Dogg did recently, where he's like, "Oh yeah, I own this land in the sandbox," and he's got all his sandbox characters doing some dancing, and I'm like, dude, this is like such a rip-off of Minecraft. You're telling me that if Minecraft enters the metaverse, people aren't going to be like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to Minecraft." And the sad thing is like the argument that gets made is that, oh, Minecraft and Disney and Facebook, they won't be decentralized. Well, man, we're the minority in caring about that, unfortunately. Like, all people are going to care about is like, oh, the Disney one, I can be Spider-Man in that metaverse. I can be like whatever in that metaverse. I have to be like some like bunk ass like made up thing in Decentraland.
It's pretty funny. But do one of you guys want to host? I got to hit the road, so I'm not going to be able to go live. I can only do the voice live. I don't know if any one of you guys are interested, or we can do the market close maybe like around 1 or 2 o'clock California time.
Yeah, I'm if I can get a decent setup, I'll set up the live while I'm looking at the what's it called, the congressional hearing.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to end my live stream, and then about 5 minutes I'll be on the road, so I'll be looking for your live.
Cool.
All right. Thank you for watching, guys.
Take care.
Yep.